Hello everyone, thank you for coming to Mary's Little House. Happy feast day of St. Francis of Assisi. He's such a model for us for all ages. Some have said he's the most popular saint in the church and in the world. With the movement of ecology, of the environment, he's the patron saint of ecology, of taking care of the earth, because he was so one with the earth, with all God's creatures, with the sun, and with the brother, sun, and sister moon. Everything. He talk to the birds and all that. It just loved everything, and every creature, and it was just one with the universe. And so even non-Catholics I love him too, because of his love for God and the universe, of his authenticity. No matter if you believe in the gospel or not, he took the gospel literally and lived it to the fullest, as any human being could do. So it's happy feast day of St. Francis of Assisi. Yesterday was the feast of the guardian angels, and I have two pictures that I loved all my life. Well, this one here, the classic one, and I hope every child's room has this one. This is the guardian angel. The two little children, a boy and a girl, are going across this rickety bridge. One of the planks are out of it, the bridge, and it's of water. It was white water down there below the rapids. Let me see if I get a better shot at it here. The river there. It's all very, very precarious and dangerous. But the guardian angel is serenely watching over them, the little boy and little girl. It's dark too and everything, but they're being safely taken over the river, over their lives to heaven by the guardian angel, to the dangers, both moral dangers, that is temptations and sin, and physical dangers, that is falling in the water and getting killed or something like that. The guardian angel watches over us, and each of us have a guardian angel. And so this is a wonderful picture. I was brought up with this. We had this in our classrooms. It's just a wonderful picture to have around for the children, to assure them not to be afraid of the dark. Look at these children; they're in the dark here. A more modern one, which is so beautiful. I think it was painted in Germany, because the German church, the German culture has a wonderful tradition of painting angels. I'll show you. Sister Innocentia Marie Hummel, she painted children in innocence and goodness, and there is a sense that they have a great love for the angels, a great devotion to the angels, especially the holy guardian angels. Here's a picture. This is hard to see. It's a more modern one, but you can see the angel. Of course, angels are visible. So, but this one says you can see through the angel. You can see his head and her head and everything. The little girl oh boy, I can see it very well. I'm sorry. The little girl is going through this forest, sort of a little concerned about being all alone in this forest. Well, the angel is there just hovering over, just watching her every step, while the trees and everything are around, and there's little animals there. There's a fox over here with her babies, and then a squirrel. It's just all kinds of nature things. St. Francis would love this picture, but this is in the fall, in the darkness of the fall. This little girl is being watched over by her guardian angel. I think someone told me this was painted in Germany. Here's another picture of angels, but it's two guardian angels. Now this is a long story with this one. Oh boy, this is laminated, so it's going to glow. It's glossy because it's such a precious card. This card was sent to me by Cindy, my Cindy. And by the way, this is Cindy's song number 20. And way early in when we got to know each other, when she was with Brother Lopez, discerning her whether or not she should be co-foundress with him of the women's part of his foundation, Franciscan Foundation of Consecrated Life of Sisters, she sent this card up. I looked at it. It's a sweet card. As you see, I'll just describe it because you can't see it very well. There's a little girl with her doll next to her head and a little boy with a teddy bear next to his. You can't hardly see it. But and they're there in their bed, cozy in the bed. The window, it says it's nighttime in the background. But look at who's behind them. Their guardian angels watching over. It's a very charming picture, and I was sort of touched by how close they were and how innocent and beautiful they were. I wondered what this meant. Well, anyway, on the backside, Cindy wrote in her own hand this song that I think Dana, the famous songwriter and singer, wrote. And this is the verse of the song. And anyway, she wrote this with her own hand and sent it up to me without any explanation. Anyway, come little child, come to me, play with me, laugh with me. For little child, I can see all that you can be. Now, I was city spiritual director. I didn't share a lot about myself, but during the time when I read this verse, it resonated so deeply in my heart, because what I was going through, I was about ready to go on retreat, and this is what I was going to bring up. I wanted to be just completely transparent before the whole world. I wanted to have that childlikeness, not childishness, the childlikeness that Saint Teresa, the child Jesus, taught, to be simple and not complicated, but like Saint Francis of Assisi today, to live the gospel with authenticity, transparency, with joy, and as a child, with childlike joy. And this really touched me, because that's what I was going to bring to my retreat and my retreat master, to want that, to desire that. Well, I tell you, this really touched me, and it's like that Cindy had such a deep insight into my life and my soul, and I was her spiritual director. She wasn't mine, and she was sharing her life, but I wasn't sharing mine, at least to the depth that this touched me. But anyway, I mentioned this because I laminated this, put it in plastic, and because it's so dear to me, it meant so much, and our relationship. I was touched by that. Oh my goodness, they're pretty close together. In innocence of childhood and everything. Well, she I think saw that we would be working very closely together, and but in purity and in chastity and in deep respect and deep reverence for each other in a childlike way. And I tell you, my dear friends, there was no one that's so real, so authentic as Cindy. I mean, she was painfully truthful and authentic, and I think she was trying to allay my fears with this, in our relationship, and assured me that yes, we will be working closely together, and all that it can be done in the beauty of innocence and goodness. And in fact, that's what happened. We worked from about 95 to 2003, like brother and sister, like these two little kids right here in the bed with their angels all hovering over. We worked very close. We were and I was awful, very conscious of what will people say and all that, which was a concern. We would not need to give the shadow of scandal or anything. Cindy was she lived it. And I was trying to all worry about it or something. I think there was not only to touch me about the come little child. She invited me to innocence, to goodness, to authenticity, and I told her that no one's ever spoken the truth to me as much as she has spoken to me. And I have many people that love me and care about me, my family and my parents, close dear friends, in all walks of life. But no one, even before we got married and everything, never, by the way, marriage was never on our radar screen. Never. We wouldn't even think of that. And we'll be talking to you in the future how that all came about. But I just want to mention that about Cindy, her insight into me, she was being guided by the Blessed Mother, who wanted her to found this a religious family in the church of Mother of God, and of priests, brothers, sisters, and laity. So this was just out of the blue, just in an envelope, nothing. Can't remember an explanation, a cover letter, or anything, but it touched me. Both sides of it touched me, but my point is, my connection here to this is to the angels, is those two little angels who did protect us. I mean, they're from harm and from scandal or the appearance of scandal and everything. It was marvelous how we could go about and work so closely together to do the work of the Lord. So that's what I want to share with you, and so I encourage you to, like as Cindy did all of us in the ministry, to have a great devotion to your holy guardian angel. They will keep you real and true to God on the path. Because if we're off the path, if we're off or over some detour doing our own thing, we're miserable. But when we're with God and when we're doing His holy will, it's heaven on earth. His will for us is love, and we are just we anticipate heaven by being so one with Him, to please Him, to live our lives to please Him, and for Him, to please others, to love others. Without counting the cost, to give ourselves as Jesus did, to love as Jesus loved, and no greater love that Jesus said that one to lay down his life for his brother, sister. So the angels help us do that, because if we become inauthentic, if we can't look each other in the eye in honesty and transparency, there's something between us and with God too. So if there's anything between your spouse or your friends or the people in your children, are not to let it all hang out. No, nothing like that. But go to the Lord and go to confession. Get everything clear. Let your guardian angel help you and give you the strength to go, to guide you to the right confessor, to get things straight. So I was hearing one mystic, a Carmelite, say, was Saint Catherine of Siena. Yeah, she said, when two people want to come together, there can't be anything in the middle, and she was talking about God too, but it's the same way with friends, a human friendship too, and so she was. We have to deny ourselves, not looking out for number one, not looking at ourselves, but looking to God to please Him. And the same way that goes, that we please God by our love we show God our love for God by our love of neighbor. So there's nothing between us. That's why a man and wife, they have nothing between them, just their skin. They just give themselves totally. There's nothing between. That's why contraception is such a obstacle because they're holding back something, their fertility. So the church is just taking a lot of hits on these things, but the church just wants us to live our life fully and completely, transparently. We're holding nothing back from God and nothing back from our spouse, nothing back